modified hip 90-90 lead leg PAILS. To get into the position, we're going to start by letting both knees fall to the same direction. Then we're going to get our 90s. We have 3 of them. The first one is between the 2 thighs at the groin. Second and third are at the knee joints. Now, if you really struggle with being able to get upright in this position, and for that reason, you're really not able to isolate this front hip joint, the modification then would be to lean away from the trailing leg. So you're going the opposite way. You can lean away on the hand. You can also drop down to the forearm. Any case, whether you're on your hand or on your forearm, one thing that I want to caution against is to not let your trunk and your shoulder get lazy. Your shoulder shouldn't be up here in your ear, and your trunk shouldn't be sagging towards the floor. Push away with your arm into the floor and keep a good strong core on the side, like you're holding the side plank. So not getting lazy with the shoulder, not getting lazy with the trunk. In a lot of cases, if you need this modification, you may find that your lead knee is coming up off the floor. Something that you can do for that is you can either think about actively trying to pull it into the floor, or you can give it a little bit of a brace with your hand. Now, if you have a hold before your PAILS, this is where you would pause, go through your hold duration, and then push play and pick up with me with PAILS. If that's the case, go ahead and once you're done with a hold in that situation, if you're doing a hold, make sure that you don't come out of the stretch before you go into your PAILS contractions. You stay forward in your stretch, wherever that is. If that's the case, make sure that you don't back out of your stretch in any way before going into your PAILS. You just go straight into your PAILS contractions. So the contraction itself, you can keep this leg pinned, whether that's actively or with help from your hand. You're going to use the muscles of this hip. This hip should feel like it's wound pretty tight because it's in maximal external rotation. You're going to use the muscles of this hip to push your foot, ankle, and like the lower third of your lower leg into the floor. And you're going to start off light. On a scale of 1 to 10, do it at a 1. So you're pushing into the floor. You should feel the muscles that were being stretched. Now they feel a little tighter. They're also contracting. And then you're going to bring it up to a 2. Then up to a 3. Up to a 4. To a 5. To a 6. Now when you really start pushing, sometimes it is helpful, especially if you have this hand here. Think pushing down through your foot and ankle. You can also think about trying to pull the knee up towards the sky. In both situations, you're just trying to move out of this stretch. But as long as you have that hand braced here, it'll work. So you can think lifting at the knee, driving the foot and ankle down. You were at a 6, now we bring it up to a 7. And then an 8, that's when you get shaky. A 9, now you're pushing down as hard as you feel you can. Keep pushing, keep pushing. You're going to feel a lot of crampy or tight sensations in this leading hip. And then slowly relax all the way back to 0. And we always turn contractions down. We never just switch them off. So if you're at a high contraction, you slowly reduce it all the way back down to 0 until you're fully relaxed. If you're doing in real time, if you're doing this with a hold first, you'll go through the duration of your hold, then you'll go right into these while staying in your stretch. If you're doing more than one of these, more than one set of contractions, also stay in your stretch between the contractions.